Scandinavia's always been very known for having a great history in women's football for since many years. Norway has been a great contender in many competitions. So it's all about this culture, keeping it going and keep on pushing so that young girls growing up today in Scandinavia actually can dream of having this environment, professional environment, where they feel that they can make dreams happen with hard work. And I think we still got a long way to go, but this democracy feeling in Scandinavia is very important to bring also into the world of sports. Hi, I'm Ada Hegerberg. I'm an attacker for Olympique Lyonnais and Norway.
I'm Sveindis Jonsdottir and I play for Iceland. I don't know if there is something specific, but there's always I think it's the mentality from the Nordic countries. We always want to do our best, and we're physical. And if I talk for Iceland, we've always been known for being physical, but also we're developing our game, and we want to play good football now. And I think that's also for every other country in the Nordics. I'm born in Iceland. My mom is from Ghana, so I'm 50-50. I'm mixed, so I'm really proud of it. My family is really important to me. Moving away at this early age has been really tough for me, but I'm also lucky that my boyfriend, he came with me and moved away with me to Germany. So yeah, I think it has made me grow up a bit quicker, but that's also just a good thing. It's just really important, just listening to the more experienced girls in the national team, talking about how it was when they were younger, just how much has changed. They're really fighting for better days for us, so when I get older, I'm going to fight for better days for the younger players as well. So it's really important for me that the women's football keeps growing.
I know that with all the success I've had in my career, it's also given me kind of a position to actually have an impact on what's happening in the game. And that's something I'm very conscious about, something that motivates me as well to become even better. And I know that there's been so many women fighting for our cause before our generation. So now we're kind of in the spot to make the next change. And Federation has an very important position in that.
Ada is a fantastic, special footballer and strong-minded person who knows what she stands up for. I've been not privy to the situation back in 2017, but her stance has to be respected. She will have had her reasons to do so. I think nobody gives up lightly the opportunity to play for a country. And so the situation must have been not easy for her to come to that conclusion.
I'm Lise Klaveness. I used to be an international for Norway and a lawyer, a mother for 3 boys. Now I'm the president of the Norwegian Football Federation. We want all the best players to be part of our national team, and when we lost Ada out of the national team in 2017, it was before I worked in the federation, but I came in right after. It was, you know, a very big aim for me as a technical director then to really show her that she still represents the country. We should not stand in her way, because a conflict can have that force that it can be something that stands in the way of energy and focus. So, but then after years, you know, she showed signals of wanting to come back, and she was always very engaged and passionate about girls and women's football development in Norway. And if you really listen to what she had to say, it was much about that also. So the conversation has gone much around listening to her, you know, that not just see the conflict or try to solve it like desperately, but try to really listen. And now she's in that position. I'm out of it, I'm out of the game. What is she trying to say now? What does she see?
Obviously, I wouldn't sit here today if I didn't think that there's been progress. I believe that Lise Klaveness, our president, is someone who's going to be a central figure in terms of lifting the women's football in Norway. It's all about creating an environment for young girls today, for them to feel seen, for them to have the competence they need in order to become even better. And I'm pretty convinced that if you start to teach a 6-year-old girl how to play a pass rather when she's 15, the level is going to be pretty different in some years. I played a lot of football when I was little. It was everything from in the schoolyard to obviously trainings with the club, but a lot on my own. I think it's been all these hours standing with the ball that actually made me develop, that made me take another step. And ever since I was maybe 12, we started like really analyzing our weaknesses and our strengths with my sister and my dad. He helped us a lot, my mom as well. They were both very central in our development, and it was a very interesting period. We used to have these hours of training, technical, focusing on getting as much quality as possible, but it was also a lot of physical training, because we figured out that if we were physically strong, we could also achieve great things with the ball. So a lot of runnings in the mountains, I can tell you.
I think the Nordic people in general are like very hard working, and we're used to things being a little bit rough with the weather conditions and like everything around. So we learn to not put too much energy to the things around, but just focus on the job and do what we're expected to and what we're told. But also there's a big history of equality in the Nordic countries. Like we've been trendsetters for a long time. in society, and I think that also reflects the sport aspect of it, that for a longer time women have been able to do sports in the Nordic countries and play football also. I'm Linda Sallstrom. I play for the Finnish national team. I used to play with my friends in kindergarten, and my best friend's dad was a coach of a real team, and they asked me, "Hey Linda, won't you join us?" And yeah, I joined them and I started playing with boys when I was 7 years old, and yeah, since then I've been kicking the ball.
Hi, I'm Pernille Harder, and I'm the captain of the Danish national team. I started to play with boys before we got a women's team or girls' team in the city I come from. I don't think at that time it was the best facilities for women, and it's still not perfect, but I found a way because I was really motivated to become professional football player, so I found a way to get a lot of good training. But sadly, it was mostly with boys that I got this really good training. As players, we are now role models for a lot of young girls, and I think the fact that we can be that is really positive. And we can only be that because the TV station has started to show our games, the national team games, but also my games in Chelsea. Girls in Denmark can actually look at those games, and it creates so many dreams for them. And then it's just about that the federation makes it possible for all these girls to be able to fulfill their potential, because I see a lot of good talent in Denmark. I have my own camp where I see so many good girls, and I find it very sad if these girls can't fulfill their potential because the setup isn't there.
I think there's a huge difference in the mindset of how you view women's football. And I think in Sweden, our turning point was the World Cup, the 2019 World Cup bronze that we got. And when we got home, I could feel a totally different respect. They see us more as professionals, they see us more as football players rather than women playing football. That has been such a relief, because that's all I've ever wanted, is to be respected for the athlete that I am. And to finally feel that respect, it's massive. My name is Magda Eriksson, and I play for the Swedish national team and Chelsea FC Women. My dad noticed in me that I was always into sport when I was younger, so all the child photos that you see of me, I have a hockey stick in my hand or a ball at my feet, and he realized that this is going to be a sporty young girl. So he introduced me to gymnastics. He also introduced me to football. So I started playing for a boys team for a year before there was any girls teams available, and then my dad actually was part of founding a girls team in my area, where he became the coach alongside 2 other men, and started playing there and fell in love straight away. My biggest passion or my biggest feeling about equality in football is equal opportunity. As a girl, if you already at a young age notice that the boys are getting better opportunities than you will always belittle yourself. You always feel like you're not worth more than them or equal as them. So giving girls and boys an equal opportunity to start with, extremely important.
Regardless of how much we love the game, it's something that imposes a B value on your daughter, you know, and we cannot have that. So when people say we cannot talk about equality, we cannot talk that it should be equal, because it's such a big different market and stuff, of course, we have to be realistic, but of course the vision should be that it should be equal, totally equal.
The league in Iceland now is much better than before. Just even the lower leagues, not only the best league, everything is so much better now. I think many, and also the kids, the girls. There are many players, many people who want to play football, especially girls now. So it's getting so much better. The league, yeah, it's really nice. Exactly like we want it to be.
I think the visibility is definitely a good thing, and there's a saying in Sweden that if they don't see you, you don't exist. So for the women's game to be able to grow, we need to be seen. We need to be out there for everything around us to become more professional. The pitches, access to medical staff, for us to be able to perform at our highest level, and that will also grow the game.
Would you like to work in a broken chair? I don't think so. I don't think we all want to. I think providing, first and foremost, equal access on the ground when it comes to grassroots, equal opportunity when it comes to find talent, and equal standards systems in the professional game, that's what sets the frame. That's what makes us work in the end as a professional. And I think that's what we need to aim for. We still have a way to go, but I'm 100% of the opinion that this needs to be our priority, and that needs to be improved across the board.
I think as I've got older, more experience, I feel really secure in myself, and I know my values. I have a lot of integrity, so I feel that speaking up about my values and what I stand for is important for me. Also, as I have got a bigger platform, a bigger voice, so it's possible for me to actually being heard and to change something in the society. So. Yeah, I feel kind of good about it, that I can help somewhere.
I promised myself I would never work in football because it's a passion. I am a lawyer. I wanted to have that as a professional job, and this should be my passion. I did not feel I was objective enough with football. It was so much emotions. But then the pixels, started to gather up, and in the end, when I was asked to be a technical director in the Norwegian Football Federation and the first female, leader for men and women national team, I could not say no. And from there, I was also asked to run as a president and also the first female president, and it became, more of a call of action. And but sort of, hesitating into making it into politics, because it's always been about the love for the game for me, and it still is.
giving boys and girls the same opportunity to become the best football player that they want to be. I think that is the benchmark and the first step that we have to reach first, and hopefully that's where all these investments that are coming into football now, I hope that that's where those monies are going to go to.
It's not even about financial or like, it's not always about the economics or equal pay. That's a very important factor in getting equality. But it's also how you're considered, how much you're respected, and how much these girls have the feeling that they're seen from their own federation, from their own country.
We have more opportunities as girls right now, or as women's players. There weren't always people going from Iceland or players going from Iceland to play abroad. That wasn't really a good option like a few years ago maybe. Now we have a lot of players playing anywhere in the world, which is also just good for football in general. So yeah, I think it is changing, and hopefully it will only get better.
Honestly, as a woman playing football, I've had to talk about equality and fight for equality so long and in so many interviews that the focus is mostly on the fight and asking and demanding to be taken seriously as a sports person. And I can't wait for the day when I don't have to talk about equality in every single interview, that I can only focus on the game and don't have to fight every day for it anymore.
A mí me encanta saber que cada partido lo tengo que ganar.
That was everything I never dreamed of.
The ACL injury in football is like a cancer in your life.
Fue un golpe duro.
It's just been devastating not to be part of the team.
To be a footballer is the best job in the world, but you can also go very quickly from hero to zero.